All right, tonight is a massive one. We are diving headfirst into a huge slate of matches in the completely new-look Champions League. And trust me, this is not the competition you're used to. We're talking a full-on league format, and the stakes, they have never been higher. But before we even touch the predictions, some absolutely massive breaking news has just dropped that could change everything for one of Europe's giants. And when I say massive, I mean it. Just as teams are getting their final game plans ready for these do-or-die matches, a total bombshell has come out of one of the biggest clubs in Europe. And honestly, this could have huge implications for their entire campaign. You know, the timing of this is just wow. It's what makes it so explosive. A player like Mo Salah being sidelined because of tension in the camp is always a big story, right? But in this new, unforgiving Champions League format, it's a potential catastrophe. Every single point matters from day one, and losing your main man like this can completely throw a season off the rails. So, to really get why that Salah news is such a big deal, we need to get our heads around this new structure. Because this isn't just some cosmetic change from UEFA. No, this is a fundamental reboot of European football. It's all designed to create more high-stakes matches and get rid of those boring, meaningless games at the end of the group stage. It's called the league format. And what that means is, gone are the days of those cozy, predictable little groups of 4. Instead, all 36 teams are thrown into one giant league table. Seriously, just picture your domestic league, but for the whole of Europe. It's wild. So here's the bottom line. The thing you have to remember. Every game, every point, every single goal now affects your final standing against everyone else. There are no more little bubbles where you can afford to slip up. Dropping points doesn't just hurt you against 3 other teams anymore. It hurts you against all 35. That's the insane pressure every single one of these clubs is under tonight. Okay, so now that we're all on the same page, let's get into the predictions. We're going to start with the games where we fully expect to see the net bulging. These are the matches where attacking flair should just be on full display. First up, Qarabag versus Ajax. Look, Ajax are absolutely desperate for points to start climbing that massive league table. And their young attack always creates chances. But you can't sleep on Qarabag at home. They're a real force in Baku. They've scored in almost every European home game recently, and get this, only one of their last 10 there has had under 2 goals. I'm fully expecting both teams to score in this one. Next, let's talk Athletic Bilbao against PSG. A game at their home stadium, San Mamés, is always electric. They just push forward like crazy at home, which, always leaves space in behind. And that is a very dangerous game to play against a PSG attack that is literally built to exploit that exact kind of openness. It's a recipe for goals. Now for a really fascinating clash. You've got Bayer Leverkusen, who are, to put it simply, one of the highest scoring teams in all of Europe right now. They are going to attack from the first whistle, and they're up against a Newcastle side that has had some defensive struggles on the road in Europe. That high defensive line they play could be a wide-open invitation for Leverkusen's speedy forwards. And finally in this group, Benfica versus Napoli. These are 2 teams just scrapping for every single position they can get in that huge league table, and they both have some serious attacking weapons. Benfica is always tough at home, Napoli can hurt anyone, and you know what? These 2 clubs just do not play boring games. This one could go either way, but it is going to be seriously entertaining. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit, because not every game is going to be a goal fest. The next few matches we're talking about, these are more likely to be a tactical chess match, where defensive shape and discipline are going to be the things that decide who wins. First in this section, we've got Villarreal taking on Copenhagen. The Spanish side has really tightened things up at the back, especially when they're playing at home. And they're going to be facing a very hardworking Copenhagen team that just doesn't score a lot of goals on the road. Don't expect fireworks here. This one's all about controlled, low-risk football. Next up, Club Brugge versus Arsenal. Now, Brugge is going to set up to be super compact, super defensive, and just incredibly hard to break down. But this is a new kind of Arsenal in Europe. They're solid, they're structured, and they actively avoid the sort of chaotic, end-to-end games they used to get pulled into. I expect a professional, controlled win here for the Gunners. And then you've got Juventus against Paphos FC. On paper, yeah, this is one of the more straightforward games of the night. But what's so interesting about Juventus is that even when they totally dominate a match, they almost never run up a huge score. They're just ruthlessly efficient. They'll win this one comfortably, but it won't be a 7-0 demolition. All right, now for the main event.
the clash of the giants. The one match that, I don't care who you support, you're going to have at least one eye on tonight.
Real Madrid versus Manchester City, two of the biggest clubs in the world, period. So the immediate question is, what kind of game are we going to get? Are we talking an all-out attack, crazy goal fest, or a super chaos? Well, despite all the incredible attacking talent on both teams, if you look at their recent games against each other, there's a really clear trend. These games are defined by super high tension, a slow, methodical buildup, and just immense tactical discipline from both sides. And what does that lead to? Way fewer goals than you'd expect. With Madrid missing some key players and City looking to control the tempo, I think we're in for a tight strategic battle, not a 7-goal thriller. So, as we watch all these games play out tonight, it really all comes back to this one big question. This new league format, it rewards relentless consistency over an entire campaign. It punishes every slip-up, every injury, every bit of internal drama. So looking at these teams tonight, the high flyers, the tacticians, the titans, which of them is truly built to thrive in this demanding new era of European football? That, right there, is the real story to watch.